Let me tell you something, brother. This might be the best OG Kush I've ever had. Ooh. Ooh, yeah. You just said a mouthful, brother. I'm higher than helicopter butt. Listen, though, Hulkster. Young Lurch has been running his mouth on that podcast. Blaze the Bingo Hall podcast needs to show some respect to the veterans, brother. I say we run in there and show young Lurch and his guest just exactly who the OGs of this game are, What you gonna do, Blaze the Bingo Hall podcast, when the Macho Man and the Hulkster run wild on you? Ooh, yeah. Give me like 10 minutes, though, because I'm really stoned. Oh, yeah.
Welcome into Blaze the Bingo Hall. It is your host with the most, Young Lurch. If you haven't already, like I always say, like and subscribe. Today, we're joined by not only any hillbilly, but the hardcore hillbilly himself. Hardcore Hillbilly, welcome into Blaze the Bingo Hall, and thank you for joining your boy, Young Lurch.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. How you feeling today, my man?
Feeling good, man. You know, just got off the shoot job, and now I'm just hanging out here with you. Hell yeah, man.
Hell yeah. So we'll get right into it. For those who might know you, may not know you yet, who is Hardcore Hillbilly, and how did that all start?
Well, man, I'm just a simple kid from the South. Even though I look like an old ass dude, I'm only 24.
Okay.
I've been wrestling since I was 18. I first started out doing wrestling, then I got into slap fighting for like a little bit. Then
Okay.
I only did that just to show I was like shoot tough with the wrestling. So yeah, I'm just like a very simple, like, you know, dude. I love doing my deathmatch wrestling. I love fishing, and I'm fortunate enough to get to travel the country doing it.
So the slap fighting, was that like a local circuit around you that you were doing, or were you doing like Dana White's slap? Is that what that's called, slap?
So power slap wasn't
slap,
around. Yeah, so power slap wasn't around when I was doing it. I first started out doing it with IWA Deep South.
Okay.
They were doing like I would say like amateur like slap fights like before the wrestling shows. Kevin would be like, "Hey man, I'll like pay a little extra to do this, and then even more if you win." And so like I did it there, and I ended up like knocking out like two dudes there, ended up being their champion.
Oh,
What they did was they took the professional slap fight league at the time, which was called the Pro Slap Fight League, which was ran out of Branson, Missouri. He just copy and pasted their logo onto like a camouflage belt strap, and like I'm 18 years old. Like this is like my third ever wrestling show that I win this belt at. So I'm like, I have no idea like what I'm doing. It's a bad thing. Then I get called up, and it's like the Pro Slap Fight League, and they want me to come out there and like have a fight. And I was like, oh, this is exactly what I wanted to happen, because at that time there were some YouTubers like Penguin Zio, Cinnamon Toast Ken, Chiseled Adonis, a couple others that were like following it and like posting reaction videos. They're getting like millions of views. So I was like, oh yeah, this is like exactly what I want to happen. Oh, the guy goes, I'm going to give you somebody with like a similar like record experience as you. So I'm like, hell yes. I'm expecting to like go up there, go against like John the Plumber from Little Rock, Arkansas or something like that. Nah, I get up there and they tell me when I'm like at the weigh-ins that my opponent is Solid Slug. Solid Slug was their new champion.
Oh man.
Granted, he also had 3 fights, but those 3 fights were like record breakers for like the shortest fights in like slap fight. And the longest anybody ever lasted with him before me was the previous champion, and he lasted 3 rounds before he got knocked out. Well, so like I find this out, and I'm like, well, I'm already out here in Branson, Missouri. Worst case scenario, I just get knocked out.
Right.
But, well, and so I like go and do it. Well, they didn't realize that they actually got like a really tough dub son of a bitch. So I just stiffened my whole body out for these guys like slaps, and he ends up tearing something in his arm. We end up going so long it goes like judge's decision after like 20 something rounds. Yeah, and I ended up doing like 6 pro fights. The last one was a super heavyweight tournament. I lose the first round by judge decision, but then people kept getting hurt in this tournament. Well, then this guy named the Holt pulls up right before his first round fight, and like I said, like this slap fight thing back when I was doing it, there would be like some monsters, but then there would be like John the plumber, who's this is the only cool thing this guy does. But no, man, the Hulk lived up to his name, dude. He looked like a real life Kratos from God of War, dude.
Jeez.
Yeah, he fucking showed up, and the promoter comes up to me and he goes, "Hey man, it's the championship round, but Highlander has like a broken tooth from the last round, and everybody else is hurt." And he was like, "I can either just give him the belt and all this money right now, or," he goes, "you could have a chance at it all from the losers bracket in the first round." And I'm over here like, this would make for a good story. But I did it, and then in the last round of that, I got knocked out. When I got knocked out, I was like, "Yep, that was fun."
So it was different back then, right? Like, so there was just like you kept going until the other person either got knocked out, or it isn't like how it is now, where it's like 3 or 4 rounds, right?
Yeah, and Power Slap, I think they go like 3 rounds for non-championship. I think maybe championship goes into the 4th. I might be wrong, but yeah, they didn't like know like how to do the rules, like back then, and it wasn't like the only commission that was like letting them do this was like Branson. It kind of seems like they're a little loose with with their stuff. Like, they don't care.
Yeah, because I remember, like, I guess in sort of like the inception of when the slap fighting was really starting to gain popularity. I'd see videos like overseas, and you'd see someone that have like this massive contusion on the side of their head because, like, you said it was like 20 plus rounds, or they sometimes go 50 rounds. I don't know how far they go, but it's
literally
just
till like somebody quits.
It's like
bringing in the judges was like a revolutionary call in like the pro slap fight league, but that's still like after the 20th round. Like the only reason why judges were brought in is because it gets to a point in the fights where nobody's going to knock each other out.
Yeah, it's just it's a pissing contest of who's tougher at that point.
Yeah. Like everybody's like, because it does take a lot out of your hand. Like, you're hitting the guy as hard as you can. To knock him out. So you do that, like 6 times. Your hand's all swollen, palm bleeding.
You're probably exhausted too. Your adrenaline.
And it's just like such a big like roller coaster of like emotions, of like anticipating the slaps and to be like relief that you survived them.
That's nuts.
I would talk shit too. Like they really liked me. So get this: when I went and did the tournament, they were filming a lot of stuff backstage and shit like that, and they never done anything like that before. Like they had a whole camera crew, and I'm asking the guy, I'm like, "Hey man, why are y'all like filming everywhere?" Like they were like filming me on like phone calls with my mom, telling her how the fight went and stuff. I'm like, "Why are they like filming everything?" And he goes, "Oh, we're going to do like a TV pilot and try to sell this to like Hulu and stuff." What it was he was sending all of these like footage to Dana White because they were partners with the first season of Power Slap. Half of the guys that are now stars on Power Slap, like Darius the Destroyer, the Bell, Wolverine, Frank the Tank, Crazy Hawaiian, like they all came from like the Slap Fight League.
Oh shit.
But what they were doing was these guys were like filming, like JT, the promoter, already knew the personalities that he liked, that he enjoyed, having around and stuff. And so, like these were like hype packages basically for like all of these people. So I get a call a couple months later, and it's somebody from Power Slap, and I'm like, yeah, like who's all doing this? And they're like, they give me a list of people from my like slap fight company. And it's like all the names I named, and then me. And I'm like sitting there thinking, I'm like, okay, yeah. So I do like one fight, and then I get like eliminated. And they're like, no, you'll sign a 3-month contract and do multiple fights, and then you'll just like go back to the house, and then the rankings will change. And it's gonna be like a rowdy to be like the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this is more like a funny punching bag.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just stick by wrestling, dude. But still to this day, I'll be at shows and
I remember I watched a few episodes of that early season 2.
yeah, people will come up to me though and they'll be like, hey man, we saw the Hardcore Hillbilly from Slat Mountain and was wondering if it was the same guy. And I'm like, yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty dope though. So it's like, I guess you knew you had some, some toughness that you knew like, hey, this is right up my alley. Like, I guess,
Yeah,
getting
doing
into
the slat
wrestling, you're like, hey,
doing the slap fight is like what made me realize like, okay, I'm like pretty tough. Like at least tough enough to be like doing death matches,
yeah,
Yeah, well, I started doing the slap fighting like really early on. And I
okay,
knew like in deathmatch wrestling, like I needed something to like set me apart from, like everybody else. And the fact that I did that was like a big one, like especially at first.
hell yeah. So when did you first get the itch to step into the ring, and what was your first, what was your earliest wrestling memory?
I always wanted to like get into wrestling. Like ever since I was a little kid. My dad was a big fan of like WCW, and so growing up, like we'd watch on TV and stuff like that. So I just like was born into a family that already kind of watched wrestling. We'd have like watch parties and order pizza and stuff for like
Hell yeah.
WrestleMania. So like the big shows were like a big deal. People from the baseball team would come and watch, like pay-per-views and stuff. And but like when I got into middle school, I saw a poster for like a local wrestling show, and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know this is like a thing. So then once I like went to that first wrestling show, that was like all I like wanted to do is just go to these like ma and pa regular wrestling shows. But I
You're
enjoyed
hooked.
yeah, I enjoyed the personable like aspect of like going to these shows and like getting to like meet the wrestlers and stuff. And when I was like 14, I met this guy named Ox, and Ox was the guy that owned the ring. And most shows in Georgia used his ring. Well, Ox was like he was pretty beat up. I have no idea from what. I don't know if he wrestled or anything, but he was like dang near like crippled, but he could drive the ring truck, and he needed like help like putting the ring together. So like me 14 and my brother 12 set put together these wrestling rings in like South Georgia and stuff with these guys. But yeah, so like those are my earliest memories is just like always watching wrestling as a fan, and then like as soon as I basically like became self aware to like want to do things on my own, my family like letting me go to like wrestling shows and spending every weekend hanging out with Cruel before he was Cruel and stuff like that, because he's from Georgia also. And but yeah, man, just so my whole childhood was just like wrestling. That's all I cared about. My dad used to like drive me to school and stuff and be like, "Can we please talk about something other than wrestling?"
Please, for the love of God.
Yeah.
So were you 18 when you actually broke into the business, you said?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So my senior year of high school, I worked at a haunted house, and then I spent all that haunted house money to go to wrestling school. And then I did that for a little while, and then COVID hit in 2020, and so my high school and the wrestling school closed at like the same time. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go wrestle now, I reckon. And because I was already doing like basic like shows and stuff like that, like getting squashed in matches, doing like battle royals, and I knew all I wanted to do is just death matches. Like some people get into wrestling, they're like, yeah, I want to go to WWE. Nah, I want to have a death match in Corrigan Hall. That's my end goal.
Okay.
And but all I wanted to do was just death matches. So as soon as like everything shut down, there was one company running, and that company was named IWA Deep South. And at IWA Deep South, they don't give a fuck, man. I went to that show. I did security for them in high school. So if you go back and look at like the John Rare Angel of Death Cup and like Lethal Leap Year, you'll see me doing like security. And I looked at like the same, a little bit more hair. But
That's
I still
hilarious.
look the same. I'm even wearing a Hardcore Hillbilly shirt
Hell yeah.
because I was like so determined to like be a wrestler, and I always knew like that was gonna be my wrestling name since I was in like middle school.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so I used to like go around to like little local shows, like 14, 15 years old, be like, "What up, man? My name is Hillbilly."
So what made you gravitate towards the deathmatch scene instead of the traditional wrestling?
I don't even know, cause like a lot of people in like deathmatch, they're like really big into like scary movies or like they have like traumatic life experiences that brings them towards it. Nah, man, it just always looked fun to me, dude. I don't know any other way to describe it. Like growing up, my favorite wrestlers were Mick Foley and Abyss. Abyss was like my job,
Mm,
you know. And my friends used to look down on me because I liked TNA wrestling in the early
uh,
2000s. But
this was the shit.
yeah, I loved it. I loved it though. And that was like when I first started wrestling, that was like my idea of like the extent of what I would get to do would be like, okay, I get to do the show at my local auction barn, which was the show that me and my brother like went to every other weekend, like growing up. So it's like, okay, I'll do this local show, and maybe if I'm lucky, they'll let me be the Abyss guy, and I'll take like one thumbtack bump at the end.
Yeah.
Like and I've been happy with that. But fortunately, I've been able to go all over the place and do this.
Hell yeah. I mean, you like you said, you already knew you had the toughness, so it was like, hey, let's jump right into it, right?
Yeah, I think what made me so tough is I used to play lacrosse
Oh,
growing
okay.
up, and when I was in middle school, I read Mick Foley's like biography, "Have a Nice Day," and
Mhm.
he talks about how like that's what made him tough is playing lacrosse.
No shit.
And so growing up, I was like, oh man, I'd love to play this. But I grew up in the South. It's like not a thing. And then I got into high school, and the high school had like a lacrosse team. So I go to the McEachern lacrosse tryouts, and I tried out for goalie, and nobody else was trying out for goalie. And so I automatically like got the spot. And then for like 3 years, I just got pelted with balls.
I
I
was gonna
like
say that they don't; those things don't come in slow at all.
yeah. There's a reason why nobody like wanted to do it.
Right.
But the goalie don't have to run at the end of practice. Nobody gives a shit if
Yeah.
the goalie's fast. Goalie don't gotta be fast. Goalie's gotta be quick.
Hell yeah.
It's gotta be a little burst. But I used to like get so beat up in these games though that there was like a special file like on my school note saying that I wasn't getting beat at home because I'd be covered in like bruises and stuff like
Oh,
that, like
yeah.
dark like bruises because all you're
Yeah.
playing is like basically like the same thickness of like a catcher like chest plate
Mhm.
and then like a cup of helmet and like gloves. So my like forearms, shoulders, like legs,
All
all
tore up.
tore up. Yeah, dude.
Damn. So you said that you always knew that the hillbilly, hardcore hillbilly, was going to be your name, even in middle school. What made you want to go for that name?
I don't even know. Like I don't know how I stumbled across it. I've always been like a really like redneck kid, and I think I like heard or maybe someone told me or something. But in wrestling, like the best names like start with like the same like letters, easy to remember.
Mm,
Like two daggum names that like start with the same thing. And like somebody told me later on in wrestling after I already had hardcore hillbilly picked out because some people were like, oh man, that's so like basic, like you should change it, you sound like a creative character because everybody else is like a real sounding tough like name.
yeah.
But what Necro, I think it was Necro that told me, he goes, you want people to like come off the streets and like walk into your wrestling show and like be able to like describe you. Like if somebody saw me like came off the streets in like Los Angeles and saw me beating some guy up, I'd hope they walk in and be like, damn, that guy's a hardcore hillbilly right
Hell
there.
yeah.
And also like I don't just represent me, I represent all of the hardcore hillbillies out there.
Hell yeah. Yeah, and it's like the same thing. Like if there were you and another guy in the ring, and one of them, no one ever seen you guys before, and they say Hardcore Hillbilly, they're gonna know you're the Hardcore Hillbilly. You know what I
I
mean?
got a really funny story from my last Deep South show. It was a regular show in Alabama, and Kevin like went all out. He booked let's see who already booked. He got Tommy Dreamer, Buff Bagwell, and Mr. Hughes. And Tommy Dreamer and Buff Bagwell is in like the same locker room. Well, I've already like met Buff Bagwell like very briefly a couple months beforehand. So I go to like shake his hand right before the meeting starts, and then after my match, I actually go into his locker room to further talk to him and take pictures. And he goes, "Yeah, man, I know your name's the Hardcore Hillbilly. Well, you really know your gimmick, dude." He saw me like in my gimmick. He saw me in my like overalls and stuff like that. Yeah, dude, that's exactly what I'd imagine you'd wear.
That's hilarious. Yeah. And what a better compliment to come from somebody
Yeah,
like that,
man.
Yeah, that's awesome. So let's talk about your time with POR Wrestling. How did you first get connected with that crew?
Yeah, so I first got connected with POR. I was a fan of it before I met JJ. I hit him up, and at the time they were like just like maybe a year or two in, and so it just wasn't like financially like possible for either of us to make this like middle of Virginia trip happen because it's really like in the middle of nowhere. It's
Yeah.
like 2 hours from civilization,
Yeah.
and so like I then fast forward a couple of years, and I start with XPW, and then I like meet JJ at XPW, and we had it set up to where we would go out to New Jersey, do XPW, and then the very next morning drive and do POR. And so like I did that for like a season, but yeah, I love POR though. I miss it a lot. We were trying to get me to go out to the Grand Prix after the date changed. Like some people had to back out, but it was just so like last minute. We couldn't make it happen. It'd be
Yeah.
like a 16-hour Greyhound and shit like that.
Yeah. That would be rough.
Yeah, it's more because it was on a Sunday. If it was on a Saturday, I'd be like, fuck it. But
Yeah.
Sunday, it's hard to miss work to ride a Greyhound the whole next day. It's
Yeah. I was gonna be there because it's about an hour. Timberville's about an hour and 10 from me. I'm in West Virginia, so I was gonna go, and I seen, I guess, JJ's post. It was, I guess, Thursday or Friday or something like that, and I showed my girl. I was like, oh, fuck,
And then
because
it's supposed to rain. Like we're filming this right before the Grand Prix, but it's supposed to rain like this Sunday too on the rescheduled date.
Ah, fuck.
Like, fingers crossed for JJ, man.
Yeah.
And also, I told him I'm like coming from Atlanta. It's just not like worth the risk of like like it's starting to rain, and that ring is always out there.
Yeah.
So, like even if it didn't rain on like the time of the show, if it rained that morning or all
It's
day
still
the day
fucked.
before, yeah, it'd be soaking dangerous.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just hang out with all my friends this weekend at ICW.
Yeah. So how did your experience with POR shape like your, say, current approach to death matches?
I honestly think so JJ's the first guy to like consistently like book me like strong. I think I don't know if I've been pinned yet at POR. I've lost matches, but it's been like another guy in a triple threat.
Multi-man.
And yeah, it's been like me go through like a pane of glass, but it's like a tables match. So like JJ has like definitely like booked me like stronger and stuff like that, and then that gives me just like a new outlook and stuff now when I go and do these like smaller shows. Like, oh, this is how I need to like present myself, like in the ring and stuff. Yeah. POR is definitely a confidence boost. I tell everybody that did XPW, because like towards the end we were getting like carloads from XPW to do these POR shows. They'd all ask me, "What is it like?" and I go, "Have you seen that South Park episode where they were talking about pro wrestling, where they're like just cutting? That's like the unspoken rule at POR is you have to cut a promo. Everybody at POR is cutting promos, man. Everyone. It's so good. I love it. But
it's always a good time.
Yeah, it's like low stakes, you know. Like the biggest worry you got POR is getting hurt. It's like, you know, everywhere. But POR, like it's a little crazy. Some uneven ground, concrete cinder blocks by the ring post.
The creek you guys got to go through
too.
too.
That creek of God knows what.
Yeah.
You know? the random pile that's in the middle of that yard that people walk into.
Trash and shit.
Yeah, like there's probably snakes in there.
Yeah.
One of my funniest POR stories is I'm wrestling Nathan Mowry. It was actually the first time we like met and hung out with each other. I met him on like Facebook because JJ told me to hit him up and ride up. And then I spent the night at his house that night, same night that I hit him up.
Oh, yeah.
And then the next day we went to Virginia. But we were working the match, and we do a lot of walking and talking, and we make our way over to the pile. And he grabs me for the suplex. It's the random shit pile.
Yeah.
And I just mouthed to him. I go, I ain't bumping in that shit.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay, reverse. So we did something around. I suplexed him into that. But the whole time I'm like, oh, I hope we ain't impaled. All right, we're good.
Yeah. Who knows what's in that fucking pile?
Yeah, dude. Apparently they set it on fire every year. I would love to watch that.
That's what I assumed happened to it, because it always looks like, you know, there's like trash and all kind of other shit, but then it's like residual shit on top of other shit. So it's like, yeah, who knows?
I would love to like watch that, but I would be watching it like I'm like one of these reporters filming like the Afghanistan tire fires or something. Like I'd have like a cloth around my face, like breathing the shit in. I bet it's amazing, just like that. I bet it's like
wear one of JJ's fire mask or fire suits. So you've brought some wild innovation to death matches. Let's talk about the dry ice and how did that weapon or idea come about?
The dry ice, I'm gonna give all that credit to Chris Kohlenberg with RPW.
Okay.
I had like literally zero thoughts of ever like using dry ice in like a match. Like it just like I know dry ice matches have like been a thing, but like the huge bricks of like dry ice, I have no idea where they get that. Publix,
it's like some sort of like ice house or something like that,
yeah.
or like a I can't remember what they're called, but it's like a certain place that has them. Random places though.
Yeah, after we did it at RPW, though, we realized that Publix like sells them and stuff like that. So now you're going to start seeing it a lot more with me. But how it came about at RPW is I'm supposed to wrestle Will Sicko. I show up to the show early, and Chris goes, "Hey, Will Sicko or so and so can't make it. I'm putting Will Sicko in the main with Drake." So I'm like, okay, right on. And then he goes, I'm going to give you like a local guy. And he gave me this guy named like Beasley. And like Beasley, he was like newer to like not newer. He was like brand new to the deathmatch stuff. So he was like kind of like scared of a lot of the gimmicks and shit like that. And so I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll take the dry ice. But the funny thing about the dry ice is like beforehand we're looking it up. And I also know that I have like salt that I could use in my match too. And so like what I'm imagining is I'm gonna take this like barrel of salt, dump it into the pool, and then like slam the Beasley guy into it, or then get bumped into it. And I go, hey Chris, let's like just look that up, make sure it's not going to do nothing like awful to our
nothing
skin.
Toxic.
Yeah, like not crazy to our skin. So we like chat GPT that thing, and it tells us that it creates like a poisonous gas if you like mix like a deadly gas. It didn't say poisonous; it said deadly gas. It creates a deadly gas if you mix salt with that ice, and apparently it doesn't happen.
You would have killed everybody in there.
Apparently it does happen. in Europe or something, there was this like viral video of people swimming in a pool, and there's like dry ice blocks in that pool. Well, people fucking died because that was a saltwater pool.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So that like gas that them clouds everybody's dancing in. It was
Yeah,
like,
they think it's like a cool effect or something. They're
yeah,
actually
yeah.
breathing
That's
in.
like
Oh,
this. Yeah, and like this salt would make it like gas up more. It would have probably been a better visual, but it was like a really small building and shit like that. I
yeah.
was like, man, thank God we looked that up. But then though, like we still use it in the match, and I take a second rope power bomb, and like it created like a pretty good cloud. But I was like, okay, yeah, this is something I can do like more often. Like
Mhm.
it's like visually like sick, and it's like not that hard to like set up. And then I did it over at Blood and Honey. This last match that I had with Brian White. Y'all gonna enjoy that when it comes out.
Mhm.
But I figured out beforehand to get like a lot of smoke. Uh, pour water, pour
On
water
top
on
of
the
it.
ice. So like right before the spot, I get the pool ready, call for a bottle, pour it in there, and then just like create like a huge cloud. So I'm
Yeah.
like trying to figure out different ways to do it. Like the next thing I'm trying to do is we have this guy named Shiro. He makes like drop doors for us, and I would like to get a dry ice shower. Like figure out a way to just like a smoky like just shower falling down. Oh God, it'd be crazy.
That also maybe add some like food dye into the water or something that you
Yeah,
pour in
yeah,
there. It can make it like,
yeah. Maybe make it different colors.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
who knows? What could
yeah.
happen? That'd be
Fuck
crazy.
yeah. So was the time that you wrestled against the Beastly guy, was that the first time that you used dry ice?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the very first time. Like I said, it's just like it's not a gimmick that's like easily like readily available. Like it's pretty expensive, and also like depending on where you're at, like there's
Yeah.
some ordering that's involved. Depending on what you want. But yeah, I think those shows that can't afford to like have it, especially if you got me on the card, I think it's like very worth it.
Hell
You'll get
yeah.
a sick video from it.
That was actually the first match of yours that I seen was
Oh
against
hell yeah!
Beastly. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, that's pretty fucking dope because I guess I had seen like probably the clips of it online, like the dry ice, and I was like, oh, I
Mhm.
gotta see this. So I watched the whole thing. Um, it's kind of funny that you say that he was a little nervous, or maybe because I kind of felt that like he was a little jittery, I guess,
Yeah,
within your spots and stuff, like
yeah. I had to like get him on track like a couple.
calm him down.
Yeah, put them through just everything that we had planned. Like I want to make sure that the fans got their ticket value worth, and also I wanted to make sure that Chris got his like money's worth. Of
Yeah.
like paying us, putting the match on, paying for all of the gimmicks, and also that was like my first RPW match. I think. Yeah, yeah, that was my
Yeah.
first RPW match. So that was like a tryout, for me. So Necro used to tell me that there's sometimes you gotta like eat, sometimes you gotta be eaten. And that was a day I got to eat.
Hell yeah.
I got
Hell
to
yeah.
eat, and I wasn't gonna let nobody stop me.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I guess since you said it was their idea, there wasn't anybody, or maybe there was some wrestlers. Was anybody trying to talk you out of doing the dry ice or
No, not really. Some people were like, you gotta be careful. Some people were like, that's gonna suck. But nobody
yeah,
really talks like me out of nothing.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
pretty safe with a lot of my like spots. Like I figured that most things in deathmatch that you can safely do is like it's already been done. Like when people
yeah.
try to get creative, that's how people end up getting hurt in the hospital. But
Okay.
like dry ice though, I like felt like the worst case scenario, I would have some like burns. And I've
Yeah,
been burnt before. Like I've been burnt like over a dozen times from like firecrackers. And those suck. So
yeah,
I was like, this cannot, no matter what happens, it
yeah.
cannot be worse than like firecracker birds. So
Hell
I was
yeah.
like down for no matter what. But what ended up happening when I took the suplex, I get in that pool and I have the sleeves cut on my like
Uh, did it
and
go
I
in?
get ice, yeah, in my shirt. Didn't realize. So
Oof.
cold, didn't even realize it. So it must have all like melted throughout the match. But we get in the hotel room, and my like back and chest and stomach all like red blotches and stuff from like where the ice like got on.
Hmm. Yeah.
But, fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like you said, so you were talking about when you get creative, that's when, I guess it gets kind of dangerous. So do you
Yeah.
think that there's a line between creative and I guess like completely insane?
Yeah, there's definitely like a fine line. And I know a lot of people that ride that line,
Yeah.
But like if I see it's really mostly like the crazy gimmicks. Like the craziest thing I think is going on right now. And Sicko, I love you to death. But them daggum porcupine quills, dude. Like that's gonna give you like fucking staph infection or something, dude. Like it, like
Yeah.
they're
Where are you guys acquiring those?
I'm it online.
Yeah.
But it's
Are they
like
sterile?
yeah, well, there's the thing that I'm like most worried about it is like things made in like the animal kingdom, they're like not made to come out.
Yeah.
Like things like sewing pins, thumbtacks, barbed wire, like shit like that. It's like in and out. But these quills, they're kind of like toothpicks, as in like they'll go in you and break. But even worse is they're also like serrated. Like, they have,
Mm.
like, little, like, daggum,
Like
like, curves.
barbs.
Yeah, they have,
Got
like,
it.
little barbs and stuff like that. And so, like, when animals get, like, stuck with them, they don't have hands, they can't pull them out. So they literally have to, like, grow them out of their, like, body. And so I'm sure Sicko right now probably has some in his back where he goes through that shit.
Ugh.
But it's like so wild, more power to him, man.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why
Just
he's, going on
yeah.
GCW, I love that kid. So
Yeah. Yeah. He's
but yeah,
he's
he's
nuts.
a tough motherfucker, dude. And but yeah, man. That's like the wildest thing. I don't fuck with anything from like animals or
Yeah,
bears.
no animal animal object.
Yeah, no nature's weapons or no fucking barefoot shit.
Only man-made stuff for the hardcore
Yes,
hillbilly.
only man-made and surgical instruments for the
Yeah.
hardcore hillbilly.
So you might be the first person in history to get skewered at a wedding.
Yeah,
How in the world did that happen?
yeah.
Let's talk about it.
So it was the Maoris, wedding, Nathan Maori, and now Michaela Maori. Hell yeah!
Mhm.
And
Congratulations.
they asked me, yeah, man, huge props to them. They just got back from Vegas.
Oh, okay.
And
Nice, nice little honeymoon.
yeah, tonight was actually my first time getting to hang with them since they've been back. So
Nice.
yeah, but no, yeah, they had it planned for like a few like months that they were wanting to have wrestling at the reception, and so like it was supposed to be just like a regular like battle royal, and some people wore their like wrestling gimmicks, some people wore like wedding stuff. I wore my overalls and a tuxedo
Was
T-shirt.
there a ring?
Yeah, yeah, we
Okay.
had the ring and everything, and Lindsay Snow was there. Well,
Mm.
like Lindsay Snow, one of her like finishers is like putting the tattoo needles in you. It's one of her signature things. And so Nathan like made the comment while we're all getting like suited up, like, "Hey man, it'd be really cool if like somebody took the tattoo needles at the wedding, but I don't know who would take that." And I go, "Come on, man, you know who would take that." I was like, that'd be my like wedding gift to you. And so we had it all like set up to where it would be like me and Lindsay in like the final three, and then she takes me to the outside. I bring her to the outside. She low blowed me, and then beat the skewers into my head, and then we both got knocked like off the apron. But it was very funny, like reaction of seeing like Michaela's friends who haven't like seen the death match, and like Nathan's like family and stuff who like haven't really like seen it.
That's what I was gonna ask next was
Yeah,
what was the wedding guest like? Was there shock, laughter,
yeah,
panic?
it
Like
was
what?
it was shock and laughter. Nobody had like a visceral reaction, which was good. But
Okay.
it was funny just like how casual I was like right after because it
It's
didn't
like,
draw
hey, what's up?
yeah, it didn't draw any blood or anything like that, like while they were still stuck in my head. And that was like the biggest thing about this like bar because it was a
Mhm.
really nice like brewery. And so like I went off to the side and then like was like pulling them out. But it's something about like pulling it out yourself. It's like really hard to do. So I pulled like the first couple out, and I had two that was like stuck in there good, and I'd get like Lindsay to like pull the rest out.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was fun though. It's the least I could do for Nathan and Michaela for all the stuff they do for me is get beat up at their wedding.
So that's what I was going to ask. So it was the tattoo needles, and hey, Lindsay Snow, that was the perfect person to get it from, right?
Oh
Because
yeah.
that's her thing.
And what's funny is that's the first time I've ever taken the tattoo needles.
That's what I was going to ask. So
Yeah,
have you been skewered with regular skewers before?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so how does that compare to?
Well, compared to the needles, the needles definitely hurt less. But there's two kinds of being skewered. There's like being skewered by everybody else, and then there's like being skewered by Masada. And I haven't been skewered by Masada, so I'm sure that fucking sucks.
Yeah,
That fucking hurts.
yeah,
But
because
yeah,
they're just going in.
yeah, the tattoo needles are honestly like maybe a tenth like as bad, like it's just the holes aren't as big. Like a
Yeah,
lot of times, like with the skewers, it just like rips your head just like apart because
yeah.
you'll get those big holes from them going in, and then like people don't know this, but you're supposed to like cut them because when they're long, they have too much like weight like at the end of them.
And it probably pries
Yeah,
it
and
open.
they'll
Yeah.
fall out, and it also like pries like the big hole open. And the tattoo
I
needles.
always wondered that with like the extra long skewers that people use. You
Yeah,
know what I'm talking about? Because those
yeah.
ones kind of like do that. They like hang off. Like yeah,
That's why you'll notice now, like Masada and Atticus, they have theirs like cut.
little
They're,
short.
they're yeah, they're about like half to about like 3/4 of like what normal would be.
Makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
So looking back at like a moment like that, does that kind of sum up who Hardcore Hillbilly is as a performer? Like, hey, you know who's gonna take that? It's gonna be
Oh
me.
yeah.
Like,
I know. I think it's very rare when I like say no to like anything. Like
yeah,
the way I look at wrestling is like it's probably not the best way to look at it, but it's like a very like clip advertised like thing. So no matter win or losing, I just want to take like the craziest thing on the show. Like I want I want to be that viral clip. Fucking blow me up, cut me, whatever you need to do. It don't matter.
yeah. So I guess like, so what's the mindset when you're going into something like that? Like when you know, hey, this is going to leave some scars or this is going to leave maybe some damage. Hey, as long as it's like, if you're going to get the biggest moment out of the night, like it's worth it, right? Or if you know it's going to be some sort of payoff longevity wise, like I guess it's all
I
about what.
I actually like don't think too much like about it.
Yeah,
I've been like doing this for so long that whenever I like go to these shows, I'm more. Now again, this is probably like an awful way to look at wrestling, from like a professional standpoint. But like I get booked on these shows, and the first thing that I think is, oh shit, I get to hang out with Mickey Knuckles again. Oh
hell yeah,
dang, Necro is gonna be on this show. Oh, this show is gonna have Masada and Slack. Like I look, I think about like hanging out with my friends and stuff like that, and then the wrestling is just like the work that I gotta do. So I don't even think about a lot of my matches until I like get to the show. Like I'll do my promos and stuff, but like actually what I'm gonna do that night, unless it's something like firecrackers or dry ice that we have to plan, it's usually like, all right, what we gotta play with. Okay, this is the craziest thing I can do with what we have available right now.
so you look forward to the camaraderie and looking
Oh
forward to
yeah,
who, what friends of yours you're going to be hanging out with on the show that are booked as well, right?
oh yeah. The
Yeah,
the fellowship of wrestling has been
yeah,
like very like super kind to me.
yeah.
Even,
It's
even
definitely a
people,
brotherhood.
yeah, even people that didn't like me at first, now that like they've given me a chance, and I've like hung around for so long. Like I always make the joke that when I started at 18, I was the youngest guy doing like full time death matches.
Hmm.
Now I'm 24, and I'm still the youngest guy doing full time death
Hmm.
matches. Like the only other person is a little sicko. I think he's 25 now. Like everybody younger than me.
Yeah,
I've met younger people along the way, but it's just like they like can't hang, long enough to be able to do it, like as long as
yeah.
we've been doing it. So I think I've like definitely earned a lot of people's like respect, over the years. Just the fact that no matter what they can do, no matter how bad they beat me up, I'm still gonna show up next month.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like sometimes I feel like, and this is like a common, I guess, debate or question now, I feel like, is people say, oh, you should have X amount of years in wrestling traditionally before you jump into deathmatch. Or, they kind of look down on people if you just jump into deathmatch. But like, I kind of look at like, if you can do it and you can hang and you can prove it that you can earn your stripes, then it's like, who's going to tell you otherwise? You know what I mean? But those people like you and Sicko are far and few in between, versus, someone who, like I said, that, or like you said, like, hey, they may only last a year or two because it may not be for them.
I think that some people, their like bodies can't handle it. They get freaked out like when they like think what they consider is like a bad cut. Now that I've been doing it for so long, my thought of what a bad cut is has like changed, throughout the years. Uh, but yeah, like I've seen, young guys like get real freaked out after these matches. You see the thought of like, why did I do this? Their head and stuff. And also like you have to have like a lot of heart and like want in this game. It's not like regular wrestling where there's 20 shows going on in your state every weekend if you live in like a major like state like Atlanta like I do. Like we always joke around in Georgia, you can either only wrestle in Georgia or you can wrestle everywhere but Georgia. That's like what everybody does. Because there's so many places you can work. You can be like, oh well, I can make just as much money just staying in my hometown. And so like a lot of these guys don't want to like take the risk to like get a cheap plane ticket to go help set up a ring, go like drive with a vet, like across like the country to go to like a deathmatch show and stuff like that. That's why like I love that we do Blood and Honey because we're trying to break in like the new generation of deathmatch people, and so like we got a good little base over here in Atlanta with like our group of people, and I have two guys. Shout out Luke and Carson. They're like my little green boys now. Those guys, they definitely want it. Luke wants to be a deathmatch wrestler like me and Nathan. Carson's wanting to do more like regular wrestling. But I can at least, show everybody like what the road is like and stuff, get them some bookings. So yeah, man, like there's a lot of hungry guys that are like coming up. But yeah, something about it is like the deathmatch, world's like an old man game. I don't get to be that now saying that. But it really is. Like all of my friends, I'm either like young enough to like they're either like old enough to where like they could be my dad or they have kids like my age or older.
Yeah.
Like I'm the youngest by like good 10, 15 years on like all of my friends. Since I'm so damn old looking, everybody forgets how young I am.
You just fit in. They forget.
Like my first time ever like in a bar. Well, not my first time ever in a bar. My first time ever in a bar was out in Colorado for a deathmatch tournament. I'm out there with Aiden Blackheart, Chet Ripley, and Remington Roar. And we pull up to this dispensary and I tell everybody what I want and they all get out of the car. They're like, are you not like going in? I'm like, oh, I can't. They're like, why not? I go, I'm 19 years old, man. And they're like, holy shit, dude.
You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they're like, we just drove a 19-year-old all the way like across like the yeah, holy shit, man. And they're like, the show that we're doing tonight's in like a bar. So they were like stressing out, like, man, I just come all the way over here, not even be able to wrestle in this bar because I'm not 21. They didn't care. They didn't give a shit, man. So that was like my first night like drinking at a bar. But my first time legally in a bar was XPW in Newark, New Jersey. The first time we were in New Jersey. It was like a month after I turned 21. And I went with Necro after the show. We went to this like Cuban bar.
Nice. I bet you that was a good time.
It was good. It was fun.
I know you mentioned like the look on some of these guys' faces. I guess like maybe after their first death match or like question it, should I've done this or whatever. I recently had Dread here on the Bingo Hall, and he had mentioned the same thing. Like on that first match, on that first cut or whatever it is, when you see that blood pour, when you feel it, you're gonna know whether this is for you or this ain't for you anymore.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of like, the real kind of recognize that, like you said, you can kind of sense like what's going through their head. Like, oh, the body language probably tells you, you're like, yeah, this guy might not be back. You know, you might not see this person
Oh, yeah.
anymore. Just be
Oh, yeah. Oh, you can tell. Yeah,
yeah,
you can definitely tell like who did their like one and done and who was like, oh hell yeah.
yeah. Who's
Well, like
addicted?
going back to my buddy Luke, with Luke, we've been doing like little deathmatch spots with him at Blood and Honey.
Mhm.
Like after like at the end of his regular match, he'll win by disqualification because he'll get blasted with a bundle from somebody running in or something.
Mm.
But we did our first like full blown like no ring death match at his like skate shop, man. He went like super hard. So like I said, I'm super excited to see what this dude does.
That's awesome. What's the wildest fan reaction you've gotten during or after a match?
The wildest reaction I've ever gotten was at the show called Down Home Championship Wrestling. It was their like Christmas show. And it was like a ma and pa like little wrestling show at like an auction bar and stuff like that. Well, they were supposed to have Johnny Swinger. Well, Johnny Swinger like couldn't make it, and he tells them like the day before, and so I get called up at the last minute, and I'm like, well, since they're expecting like Johnny Swinger and like y'all can't have him, what if we like have like a hardcore match? And they're like, yeah, that sounds cool. So I bring like a gusset plate. Well, like I didn't know that this crowd's like never really seen like anything past like a chair or stuff like that. Well, I take this gusset plate and I start daggum leaking. And then I like get up on the guy and I like show off to the crowd. And then I daggum take my hand and I'll wipe it all down my face. And then I show the crowd and then I go to like lick my hand for some reason. I don't know why I fucking even did this, but the moment felt right.
Right.
That like, caused like old ladies to faint. Children were crying.
Oh, man.
Right after the match, I'm like in the back getting like cleaned up with my gallon of water, and I got my $40 in envelope from this little daggone show, and everybody's asking if I'm all right. Well, then ambulance with sirens pulls up. One of the fans like called the ambulance like on me because they thought I was like bleeding to death.
Damn.
But that was
Well,
fun.
yeah, that's a crazy reaction for
Yeah,
sure.
last time there. And like as I'm like wrestling the guy for the rest of the match, I'm getting chased with like an old lady with a mop like behind me who like owned the
Was she
building.
like, I would say, was she like a worker there or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that?
She's
Yeah.
like actively like cleaning the
She's
blood.
like, God damn it, I gotta clean up this blood and shit.
Yeah, and as soon as that was going on, like I'm literally halfway through this match, like, yeah, I ain't never come back here.
Yeah, screw it.
Just keep it
To
on.
get my shit in.
Yeah, I'd get my shit in. It cost me a job, daggum it.
Have you ever had a moment like I guess mid match or so where you felt like maybe you went too far? Do you feel like maybe you went too far with that one, or that was just
Yeah.
like one of those circumstances where it was like, hey, it kind of just it is what it is. Like,
Yeah, no, that was definitely one of those moments. And then there's also been a couple times where like I've like done stuff without letting promoters know. And like it's shit that I think is like perfectly normal, like skewers or not skewers, but like gusset plates, or like fire, like stuff like that. But I was at Circle 6 and we did this show in Austin, and I wrestled Dmitry Alexandrov, and he's like another deathmatch guy.
yeah.
Well, I let him punch a gusset plate into me, and then as I'm selling that, I had it set up to where there was like 2 limes cut in half at the bar. So he then takes the limes and put it like all over my head, and I'm selling. I like have blood on my hands from like selling my cuts, and I'm like touching like fans and stuff like that. Well, I get to the back, and I'm like, "Yeah, man, how was that?" And he goes, "That was good. You just didn't have to go so hard." He's like, "Yeah, man, you don't gotta like kill yourself every night with us." I'm like, dude, I don't fucking know. That's the only thing I know how to do is just go hard, bro.
Go balls to the wall, right?
Yeah, dude.
So outside of the ring, how do you recover after putting your body through hell like that?
I go to the gym like every single day during the week. So my weekly like schedule is on the weekends I'll be wrestling. I come back on like a Sunday. Monday through Friday, I go to my shoot job during the day, and then I go to the gym afterwards. And I do the sauna. I'm like a big believer in the sauna. I've healed up like way quicker since I started like using the sauna. But the trade-off is I heal like within a week, but I scar up awfully. So, but like that's like the trade-off you like kind of want for like the aesthetic of like a deathmatch wrestler. But yeah, I love going to the gym and I take my shirt off and everybody in that song's like, dude, what the hell happened to
What
you?
happened to you, man?
Yeah, dude, they like can't help but ask. One guy told me I look like a bad guy in a movie. Like I have like an unrealistic
Okay.
amount of like scars.
You're the villain that walks into the sauna. He's like, oh God, what the hell is
Like a
happening?
Russian prisoner or something,
Yeah, yeah. I
So like
guess
my back is like crazy. It looks like I've been like shanked in the back.
yeah, yeah. I know the sauna definitely does numbers.
Yeah.
I've actually looked into stuff like the heat shocking proteins because I have Crohn's disease, so I know like that helps with the inflammation and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah.
So I'm sure all that probably helps
Oh
you
yeah.
yeah.
And also like if you got glass and stuff in you, it kind of helps like bring
Pushing
everything like, to the surface. Yeah.
yeah.
Sweat it out. And also if you like party hard, gets all them toxins out and shit, just let it all out.
I seen recently someone post on one of the groups online about, does any I guess they're referring to wrestlers, I would assume, but I guess some fans do too. But like, do you still have any pieces of glass stuck in your body that's, still working its way out or anything like that?
Yeah, so let's see.
Okay, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So right there is a piece of glass that's like coming out.
Oof.
Right there, yeah, right there is a piece that's like coming out, and I think it's kind of like what happened to my hand
Oof.
right there. So I had a piece of glass that was like stuck in there, and we didn't know at that time. I saw it was a bad cut, so I just like glue it over,
Oh.
like with the
So
piece of glass in there.
probably mess
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think, like I definitely I know for sure I have two other pieces in my hand because when I went to the hospital to get like cut out because I had it in my hand for 9 months and I didn't know there was a piece of glass. I just thought I hurt the tendon and then it started working its way out. Well, then when it was about halfway out and like couldn't come out anymore, that's when I was like, okay, now it's starting to affect me wrestling. I'm gonna go get like looked at and they x-rayed me and I had two other pieces of glass in my hand that were in like different like layers, but that was the one that they were like worried about right then.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm supposed to go to like a hand specialist to get like the other pieces taken out, but like that'd mean time off
I was
like
gonna say that's gonna put you down a little bit.
yeah, dude, I'll take the ER visit when it's an issue, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna worry about it when it's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I got you. I feel you on that.
But I am interested. Like, I would like to do like a full body CAT scan and like just see like how many like clear pieces of like glowing glasses in my bag because you
Oh
can
my
clearly
god.
tell in like X-rays. Like they showed me my hand, and
Is that how they find where it's at or what's in there?
yeah,
They do okay.
yeah, it shows up like kind of like white, like on like the X-rays and stuff. But yeah,
Damn.
they could tell like how big the pieces were just about. But the size that of the one they pulled out of my palm was about the size of like a nickel.
Hmm.
Like it
Yeah.
was good size. They couldn't believe that they couldn't believe that I like glued it like in there. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man, like I ain't the brightest guy.
Yeah, but it's like you said, you're thinking, oh, I'm just gonna heal this,
Yeah,
put this cut back together, and then you didn't realize there's a piece in there. And it's really you probably created I don't know if it got infected probably too. Like, yeah, it
yeah.
probably
I think after months and months and months, it finally got infected and like started working its way out.
yeah.
And I think what caused that infection was I partied a little too hard on one of these trips, and I remember it too. Like I was like super exhausted. I get back, and then I do a blood and honey match. Now, so I do blood and honey that Sunday, and I'm like in the at Nathan's house that night, and I'm feeling my hand, and I'm like, oh, damn, that's a little piece of glass. And so that night I started like working it out. But yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it's crazy that the body just like will just like push that stuff out. But the way it was like broken in my skin, it was like hooked at the bottom. So they had to
Mm,
like cut it and shit.
yeah, it's definitely gnarly. What do your family and your friends think about what you do?
They think it's cool that like I get to go all across the country, and they like that I'm doing something that I love. But they definitely wish that I wasn't doing deathmatch wrestling. Like they're just like worried that I'll get hurt. Like my family doesn't really go with me to like shows and stuff like that. My mom used to like watch me like live. My brother would have little watch parties with our friends, and she would watch me live. But then though, like I'd get too busy partying and stuff after these shows, and not like pick up my phone. So she's like seeing what she thinks is me being dead and
And you're
getting
not
carried,
answering.
yeah, and getting carried to the back by like referees and fake paramedics and shit. And really, I'm over here like having a good time. Like
Just hanging out. Yeah.
as soon as I get behind the curtain, she doesn't know that I'm over there like joking around with friends and stuff. She thinks that like, just that like the act's still going
Yeah.
on. Then gone to the hospital.
Yeah.
Like the last one that she saw was me in Denver, Colorado at Slave to Deathmatches. Me and Chuck Stein, or it's me and this other guy versus Chuck Stein and Sadika. And the finish of the match is Sadika puts a gusset plate in me. Chuck Stein hits me with a sling blade. So now I bump. Well, then they call an audible, and Sadika throws Chuck a chair, and they both like come and do a splash like with the chairs. But I'm not that tall, so Chuck like takes out my knees, and Sadika comes like a daggum like kid on a sled, like right over my face and lands right on my face. Well, she beat the gusset plate into me so quick that the crowd, like the referee and everybody and the people at home, didn't see her punch this like gusset plate into me. So all they know is I'm like laying there, and then like as soon as Sadika like gets up, and that chair gets off my face, I'm now laying in a pool of blood. Just I've been laying there now for a second, and they thought it was from the chair splash.
Chair.
Like
Yeah.
they thought that like Sneaka like crushed my skull.
Crush your head.
Yeah, they thought she like crushed my skull. And so my mom just like stopped watching it like right there. She didn't see the referee and paramedic try to like pick me up. Me knowing I'm fine, push the referee and paramedic off, and then grab my partner, the fireman's carry, and take him to the back. Like they didn't, she didn't see all of that.
She's like, I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
it for
done.
me.
Like my son just died in Colorado. That is my biggest fear, though, that I'm gonna like die in some like crazy far away state. But I mean, I guess that's everybody else's problem if you really think about it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's what keeps you coming back, though, right? Like it's that fuck it. I might die in this fucking shit tonight. You never know.
I mean, you really never know.
No.
But even if something happened, I'd be like, fuck it. Like I knew what I signed up for.
Yep. Yeah. Do you think that deathmatch wrestling gets enough respect for its storytelling or creativity?
I think people in the mainstream wrestling looks down on it. They look at the risks that we take as like unnecessary. But I think that like there is some critiques that should be like listened to in deathmatch wrestling. Like people say that we do death matches just to do death matches, and like we do, but I still think there is like ways you can have like exhibition death matches that lead to like stories. You know what I'm saying? Like people just got to get more creative and come up with like match stipulations. But I think that stories and death matches should be something that's like a more like long running thing. Like with Blood and Honey, that's all we do is stories. Every match for the most part. Like let's say we have like a 5 card like or a 5 match like show. 3 of those matches all have a story leading into why they're happening.
Good.
Yeah,
we need more of that. And I think you guys, what you're doing with Blood and Honey, you guys are that's all I keep hearing, Blood and Honey. So it's a good thing. Like people are talking about you guys. So just keep doing what you're doing because it seems to be the next wave. Or like you said, you guys are putting on map for that area for in Georgia. So
yeah, we're just like I said, trying to be like a spot for like Southern wrestlers to dip their toes in the death match, and also people that don't necessarily get like the shine that they deserve. They can come to Blood and Honey and potentially become like a star. At least with our crowd. but also it's like just a chance for like a lot of the fans. Like a lot of deathmatch fans live in the South. And they have to hop on airplanes to go see like the local shows for the New Jersey people and stuff like that. You know, like they're having to like travel the country just like we are, and they're just going to watch. And so I'm glad that we do this show in Atlanta. And also like most of the card are from like Atlanta. Like we're Georgia locals or at least Southern locals. So it's a good chance for like family to like come and watch or like friends that otherwise wouldn't be able to like see us do what we do.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's always a good time when friends and family and everybody's there to have a good time, and that kind of atmosphere is brought. And when you see, people that are there for, multiple shows, it becomes, like you said, like a family that keeps growing and growing. So yeah, more power to you guys. And I hope to see you guys keep on growing down there. What's next for the Hardcore Hillbilly? More matches, new
Yeah,
weapons, any new training style? What do you got going on?
I've just been going to like the gym every day, and but yeah, I'm kind of like in the same position I was in like a couple years ago when XPW folded. Like I had RPW down for like a couple of dates, and now the RPW's folding. I feel like I'm like now back in that like freelance like stage. So I'm hoping to do more stuff with like SVN. I'm wanting to go back to like Horror Slam. And then hopefully, maybe this year, maybe get to debut or something for ICW or something.
Okay. Yeah.
That'd be dope. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep busting my ass, keep showing up, So no matter what, everybody's still gonna be seeing the Hardcore Hillbilly around. I literally got nothing better to do.
No, yeah. That's what I was going to ask. So you haven't debuted in the chains yet, so that's definitely a goal of yours.
Yeah, that's definitely a goal. But it's like also kind of like with me going to Japan. Like I could go to Japan like right now if I want to get like a passport and like like make some connections and like go over there. But I want to
Timing.
go like when I know I'm ready.
Yeah.
Like I want to, like I don't want to like force any of like any opportunities. Like I want to be there and help out at the shows that I like. Hopefully, like want to get a job on. But everything else, if it comes, like I'd be stoked for it. But I want to be sure that I'm like ready for it. Because you only get one chance to make a good impression.
Hell yeah. So if you were to get offered something like a gig in Japan to like say like a residency or something, would that be something you would entertain or you would be
Oh
interested in? Yeah.
yeah, I would enjoy to do like a residency. I wouldn't like to do nothing more than like a couple months at a time. But yeah, that's like definitely my end goal is to like go over Japan and just be like the big American monster hillbilly.
Oh, you would kill it. Your gimmick would kill it over there, bro.
Like when I was traveling with Necro a lot, he was going over to Japan. Like I wanted to go over there like so bad, and people like knew who I was because the gimmick he was doing in XPW, and Shadow WX, who was a good friend of me and Necro, he actually wanted to dress up in overalls and wear like a lucha mask and like pretend to be me. Like nobody would notice. Like
Yeah.
just a mask and like have the flag and stuff. Like he is like the hardcore hillbilly. So like they know who I am over there. But yeah, I would love to take it just for like the experience of going over there.
Yeah.
But first though on my list of like international travel, I think first up is gonna be the UK.
Okay. Yeah. Is you like the style of how they do things over there?
Yeah, I just love the guys that come from over there. Like I'm big fans and friends of Lou Nixon, Big F and Joe, Tim Strange, the big
Nice.
ass cowboy. Love that dude, man. But yeah, like, and I know like if I got my passport lined up, like they could totally make something happen out
They'll
there.
take care of you.
Yeah, and I know they would like make like a fun trip out of it. So
Hell yeah.
that's like that's on the list for 2026 also. I've been doing this for like 5 years now. I feel like it's a good chance to like start dip my toes.
Yeah. Time to start spreading those
Yeah,
wings to different horizons.
yeah.
So to go ahead and wrap it up, let the audience know where they can find you. This is your handle right here for at least for Instagram. I don't know what other platforms you may be on, or if there's anything coming up you want people to check out, let them know. I know Blood and Honey's definitely, you want them to people to tune in on that, but where can they find you and what do you have coming up?
Yeah, so this is my Instagram, the Hardcore Hillbilly. Check me out on Facebook at Drew Vickers. That's just my shoot name. But that's where I post like all my wrestling, stuff. Check out Maniac's YouTube channel. There's gonna be like a bunch of vlogs of like me hanging out with my friends and stuff like that. Like just doing daily crazy shit, and it's all filmed on VHS camera. So it's like really cool. Like
I love that.
feel. Yeah, like if you go look on his page now, there's a video of us. We went fishing, but we didn't catch no fish. Ended up raining. Then we ended up going to a pool hall. We ended up like meeting up with girls at the pool hall, filming wrestling shows. So like these videos take like a crazy turn, So there's gonna be like plenty more like personal like backstage stuff coming out with that. Also,
all VHS.
Yeah, all VHS like quality. Also, check out, like you were saying, Blood and Honey. That will be running back up in the spring, so super excited for that. And I'm super pumped for like WrestleMania. I'm going to be out there for WrestleMania. I don't have anything necessarily lined up yet. There's a couple shows that are in talk, but they haven't announced anything yet. But yeah, so I got Mania coming up. We got new Blood and Honey series. And heck yeah, that's all I got on the calendar right now, for me. But I'm sure I'll be picking up some more stuff.
Hell yeah. Well, I appreciate you, Hardcore Hillbilly, for coming by and blazing the bingo hall. More than welcome to come back anytime, and looking forward to see where you go. And yeah, man, you're going to be getting out to Japan pretty soon, so we'll be looking forward to it.
Thank
But
you.
appreciate you, brother. Peace.